Imagine this. At 8 o'clock a.m., without you touching a thing, an AI has already scanned the latest news, cross-referenced your calendar, and prioritized your tasks. It sends you a complete briefing, ready to go. This isn't a beta feature from a tech giant. It's OpenClaw, and it's the closest thing to having a personal AI employee that actually exists today. After spending the last 3 weeks dialing it in, I'm going to show you exactly how to build your own from scratch. We're building the future of autonomous AI, right here on Tomorrow's Brain. So, what is OpenClaw? In simple terms, it's an open-source AI agent that lives on your own server. It connects to the brains you already know, like Claude and GPT. But here's the critical difference. Unlike a regular chatbot that just talks, OpenClaw actually does things. We're talking about an agent that can read your emails, manage your calendar, run system commands, and execute real-world tasks on your behalf. You interact with it through whatever messaging app you already use, whether that's Telegram, Discord, or WhatsApp. And because it lives on your server, not someone else's cloud, your data and your privacy stay firmly under your control. But before we unlock the superpowers that make this tool revolutionary, we have to get it running safely. The most secure way to run OpenClaw is on a virtual private server, or VPS. Think of it as a dedicated, always-on computer in the cloud. Why not your personal machine? Because OpenClaw has deep access to its host system. It can create files, delete them, install software, and execute terminal commands. There are reports of users who ran it locally only to have a single bad prompt wipe out system files or accidentally expose sensitive API keys to the public web. A VPS isolates that risk in a sandboxed environment you can delete and rebuild in minutes. For this, I use Hostinger. They have a one-click OpenClaw template that bypasses all the complex manual setup. Head to the link in the description below to go straight to the OpenClaw deploy page. Once you're there, click Launch OpenClaw. On the billing page, I recommend the 12-month plan to lower the monthly cost significantly. I also enable daily auto backups, a must-have when you're running software that can modify its own server environment. Backups are your instant undo button. After that, enter the code TOMBRAIN to get 10% off the plan and complete your payment. You'll land on the OpenClaw configuration page. The first field is the gateway token. This is the master password to your entire OpenClaw dashboard. Copy this token immediately and save it somewhere secure like a password manager. You'll need it every time you log in. Next, you need an API key for your AI model. I prefer Anthropic's Claude, so I'll navigate to platform.anthropic.com, sign in, and create a new API key. Make sure to load at least $5 in credits to give the model a working budget. Copy that key, paste it into the Anthropic field in Hostinger. If you prefer OpenAI or another provider, just follow the same steps with their platform. Scroll down and hit deploy. Hostinger will now build your server, which takes about 2 to 5 minutes. When you see the green check mark, click the purple link next to it, paste in your gateway token, and you're logged into your very own OpenClaw dashboard. The first thing we need to do is shape your agent's identity. Just say hello in the chat. OpenClaw will ask a series of questions about who it is, who you are, and what kind of assistant you want it to be. Answer these prompts, and your agent's core personality and role are locked in. Now, let's free it from the browser. I recommend setting up a messaging channel so you can talk to your agent from your phone. Telegram is the easiest. Just tell your agent, I want to set up Telegram, and it will give you the exact step-by-step instructions to connect it. Now that your agent is running and accessible, it's time to turn it into a true force multiplier. By default, OpenClaw processes tasks in a straight line. If you ask it to research 5 competitors and then write a summary for each, it has to finish the first task before starting the second. You're left waiting while it works through the list. Sub-agents change everything. Instead of one agent doing it all, you create specialized workers. One handles deep research, another handles coding, a third handles content writing. Your main agent becomes the manager, delegating tasks to the right expert. This isn't just about speed. Each sub-agent gets its own context window and its own memory. Your research agent isn't cluttered with coding conversations. and your coding agent isn't confused by research notes. Everything stays clean, focused, and parallelized. To create one, just send your main agent a prompt. I'll paste in one that tells it to create a new persistent agent named Atlas, a dedicated research assistant. If I go to the Agents tab in the dashboard and refresh, Atlas is now listed as a separate entity with its own workspace. Now I'll create a second one. This time I'll paste a prompt for a coding assistant named Iris, and I'll assign it a cheaper model, because coding tasks don't always require the most expensive reasoning. Now when I ask my main agent to research competitors and build a comparison spreadsheet, it doesn't grind through everything on its own. It passes the research task to Atlas and the spreadsheet task to Iris. Both work simultaneously. The results come back faster, and the quality is higher because each agent is a specialist. The best part is you optimize your costs. Your main agent stays on the heavy lifting model, while your sub-agents handle routine tasks on more efficient ones. Having a team of agents is a huge upgrade, but they're still only working when you tell them to. The next feature changes that. This is what separates OpenClaw from every standard AI interface. The ability to act completely on its own, on a schedule. Every afternoon at 3:45 p.m., my agent sends me a meeting dossier. It scans my Google Calendar, identifies who I'm meeting with, researches their recent company news or posts, and sends me a cheat sheet so I am perfectly prepared for every call. I set this up once, and it runs every single day since without me ever asking again. To build this, you send your agent a single prompt describing exactly what you want. I'll paste mine in now. The next afternoon at 3:45, your phone buzzes with a full briefing. You can take this further. I have a second automation at 9 a.m. where my agent drafts content. It looks at all the random voice notes and ideas I dropped into the chat, connects the dots, and turns them into polished posts ready to publish. If you head to the Cron Jobs tab in your dashboard, you'll see these scheduled tasks listed. You can edit the timing or disable them anytime. This background autonomy puts OpenClaw in a league of its own. No other tool operates with this level of independence when you aren't even talking to it. Once your agent is working autonomously, the next step is to give it more capabilities. In OpenClaw, these are called skills. Think of them as plugins that teach your agent new tricks. Out of the box, it can chat and run basic commands, but it doesn't know how to search the web, interact with websites, or manage your smart home. Skills add those abilities. Claw Hub is the community marketplace where these live, with almost 19,000 community-built skills ready to install in seconds. The easiest way to start is to install the Claw Hub skill itself, which gives your agent the ability to browse and install other skills on its own. Just tell your agent to install it, and it handles the whole setup. Now you can ask your agent to search for skills by describing what you need. But if you know exactly which skill you want, you can grab it directly. For example, there's a great skill called Last 30 Days. I'll copy the link from GitHub, paste it to my agent, and tell it to install. Within seconds, my agent has a brand new ability. Now I'll test it. I'll type, search Reddit and YouTube for the biggest AI news from the past week. And there's the result. It pulled live data from multiple platforms and gave me an organized summary without me visiting a single site. A quick note. Claw Hub is a community marketplace, so while the platform has antivirus scanning, you should always check the download count and star ratings before installing anything unfamiliar. High downloads and good ratings signal safety. Now, with sub-agents, automations, and skills, there's one final problem to solve, the one that trips up almost everyone after a few days. The biggest frustration with OpenClaw is that your agent starts forgetting things. Details you mentioned, preferences you set, decisions you made, they start disappearing. This happens because of how OpenClaw manages its context window. As you chat, the context fills up. To prevent it from overflowing and costing you a fortune, OpenClaw runs compaction, which summarizes older conversations into a compressed version and removes the originals. The problem is that summary often loses the details that actually mattered. The fix is a single prompt that tells your agent to save the most important information to a persistent memory file before compaction runs. I'll paste it in. This creates a system where your agent writes key decisions, preferences, and project details to a file that survives compaction. Even after the conversation is compressed, the information you care about is still there. If you want to go further, there's a self-improving agent system that builds on this. You can set it up with a single prompt. What this creates is a feedback loop. Every time you correct your agent, it logs that correction and adjusts its behavior. Over time, it builds a collection of patterns specific to you. How you like your emails written, what tone you prefer, which formatting you want. The result is an agent that gets noticeably better the more you use it. After a few weeks of corrections, my agent stopped making the same mistakes and started anticipating what I needed before I asked. That's the loop. By layering workers, schedules, skills, and memory, your agent becomes a self-improving system that gets smarter with every interaction. I've left a link to Hostinger in the description below if you're ready to build your own autonomous AI. Thanks for watching Tomorrow's Brain. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the future of intelligence. I'll see you in the next one.